all doing? My name is Mary, and today I'm going to talk to you about and take you on my own faith journey. So, we all begin, I suppose, our faith journey from baptism. And just a little fun fact about me, I was actually baptized 2.5 years my after I was born. And it was through my grandmother who brought us to the church. And because my parents had baptized us in a born again church, and she encouraged my parents to baptize us through the Catholic Church. And so it was on that day that I have grown in communion with Christ from the moment of my baptism. And I really started my faith really early on. God revealed himself through me through prayer. And my brother had an accident when he was 2 years old. I was 4 at the time. And he went underneath a car. He was hit by a car. He went underneath. And honestly, guys, I really did think that he wasn't going to make it at the time. And I remember going to prayer that night time with my grandmother, and I prayed to the Lord that he heals my brother. And a really miraculous thing was the next day he came home with my parents. All he had was like a band-aid on his forehead, and nothing was broken. I was a witness of him going underneath the car. They had to pull him out the car, and it was really crazy that he came out of all that experience unbroken. And it was a complete miracle. And that was the time when I truly believed in the power of prayer from the age of 4. And moving on towards my life, you grow and you grow in your faith and things like that. And I remember going to church here when I was 11 or 12, and there was an opportunity to join a youth choir. And I guess it was a long time from being 4 years old to 11 and 12, because nothing was super, super crazy in between that time period from 4 to 11 years old. So anyway, when I was 11 and 12, um, I joined this youth choir in my parish. And so then I developed my skills. I learned how to play guitar. I grew to share my talents in my parish, to now to this day actually leading the youth choir, and sharing music, of sharing prayer. I suppose praying with music is what I do now. And so yeah, from 11 and 12 years old, came to grow and in my music ministry, but didn't develop, I guess, the understanding of God and why I go to church, and why this and why that. And so my cousin came to me when I was 19. She gave me an invitation to go to Medjugorje with her. I didn't know anything about Medjugorje. I was only in third year. I was going into my third year of nursing, and I said yes to her. I didn't have a lot of money at the time, but she paid for my whole trip. The only thing I paid for was my trip to go to see her and join her with her group from the UK to go to Medjugorje. And really crazy thing, what happened in Medjugorje is where I met my now husband. So that's talking 6 years ago. But in Medjugorje was the time when I had been transformed and set on fire with my encounter with Christ through the sacrament of reconciliation. If you haven't gone to the sacrament of reconciliation, I encourage you to do so. I pray over you and I pray for you that you encounter Christ the same way that I did. And I remember going to the sacrament of confession and poured out my heart um, to the priest who was in persona of Christ, and gave him my heart. And I just felt the gates of my heart were opened wide. And since then, since I've come home, I've been set on fire, and the doors have been opened to me, and as as part of the body of Christ, right, as part of community. I grew in my parish community. I became part of youth ministry, becoming the face of youth ministry in my parish, and bringing young people to different encounters, kind of U2000. I have brought like a group of young people to U2000, as well as myself, to continue to grow in my faith. And but yeah, so I've been doing training, such foundational leadership program, which the Archdiocese of Dublin, went to the World Youth Day in Krakow. I went on the Camino, and the doors, from the moment that I had been transformed in Medjugorje and converted to just the life of my faith, this really meant so much more than what it had been beforehand. And in youth ministry, because of that fire of wanting to bring Christ to people, I dived in, I went in, I had to dealt with disappointments and discouragement, because you invite young people and they won't turn up. And I think through growth and through that experience, I've come to know that God is everywhere, that we don't necessarily need to bring God to people, that He's everywhere. And so sometimes all that we need to do is really pray for those experiences, for those people, for those young people. Um, and so that is, I suppose, a fruit of having had gone into youth ministry and serving my parish life. And yeah, so that's the fruits, I suppose, of youth ministry and the power of the Lord working through you to serve your church in any way that you possibly can. Because you're thinking that, who am I? Who am I serving and helping, bringing people to come to know Christ? Like, who am I? And what knowledge do I have of God apart from my experience? And I think that is what you can bring to people. I think living your faith, and and what somebody had always said, that living your faith is it's in itself a testimony that you don't necessarily need words, unless it's necessary that you need words for to explain your faith. And so now I currently just pray for our youth ministry, and especially during these hard times when we can't be with our community, we can be in community in prayer. And I'm so thankful for my parish that we actually do online prayer every night together, and it's just so wonderful that we're still united in prayer, even though we're so far apart and we actually haven't been to mass for such a long time. And I think we're all craving the Lord and the Eucharist and community, but during these times, during these very hard times, keep up with your prayer. Sing songs, praise and worship, and you are not alone in this very difficult time. And believe in the power of prayer. We will make it all through this. I just want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas. I hope you guys have a good one. Take care.